Am I doing the right thing? Should I have said this here? Should I have done this here? What did your gut say? If you don't do it, then who gonna do it?
And that feels good to me.
Hey everyone, I'm JusmeShakoyahD and welcome to my bubble. This channel is for Black women who are on their self-love journey and are learning to put themselves first and take off their superwoman capes. My bubble is my safe space to express myself as I inspire you to do the same. This is Love the Creative Black Woman, a series where we self-care through crafting as we connect on our self-love journey together. Alright, so last episode we were talking about trusting your gut, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So basically I took a few weeks off from recording this series and I feel like I'm not trusting my gut a little bit. I don't know why. I'm like a little bit nervous. I don't want to say I'm apprehensive, but I'm nervous. I'm excited. I done got the live footage together. The lighting is so much better than it was in season 1. And I think that a lot of times we get our expectations up for certain things. So like we did season 1, because like I said, I'm doing these in series. I'm bulk shooting because I want to make sure I have space to do the things that I want to do, that I love to do, that I like to do, and also still be able to do this content because I actually really enjoy this podcast. But I'm like, okay, I set myself up perfect for the first season to get started. We had the questions going, the stuff about the safe space, and then I'm like, okay, well, what do I do now? Or like, what do people want to hear? What are people going to be interested in? And honestly, the first season, I just trusted my gut. I trusted my gut, and that's why it went so well. Because on top of me answering the questions that I sent to the superwoman, which I think I'm going to make it into a Google form, and so that all of you can answer the questions as well, because I want to hear your perspective as well. But on top of like me trusting my gut is like, all right, I used the tools that I had because I too am a superwoman. And I know that there are certain things. I don't know everything about everybody and every superwoman that's out there, but I do know that there are certain things that all of us have gone through or are experiencing that, you know, we identify with, like the idea of trusting your gut. Or like one of the episodes I talked about being a people pleaser. I'm still processing that. You know, we're going to do an episode on that at some point. But at the end of the day, like I'm over here nervous and I'm like, I just literally before I pressed record had to say to myself in my head, like, girl, you got this. You got this. And I set an expectation for myself. It's not even like anybody was like, yeah, make sure you do it like this and talk about this specific thing and do this here. I told myself, this gotta be good. We gotta keep getting better from here. And if I just trust my gut, what I realized is that we will inevitably just keep getting better from here. Not everything has to be a huge production or super perfect. This is a channel that I've had for quite some time, but I just now really defined what I'm doing with it, what I stand for, who I'm talking to, and all of those things. And then talking to all of you has been getting me excited because I'm literally able to just kind of share my experience and my journey, and in hopes that it is inspiring you and it is helping you to move through your journey. But all of that comes with the pressure of wanting it to look a certain way or to feel a certain way, because I do want to bring a certain quality of content. And I think that in all aspects of our lives, we want to bring a particular quality to whatever we're doing. Even if it's cooking dinner, I want to bring a certain quality to that. If it's writing a paper, writing a book, if it's going outside and walking, I want to bring a certain level of quality to my walk throughout the day. You know, it's just, I think that's innately in us. But that also added a extra layer of pressure to myself that I didn't need to add. And at that point, that is when you start to question, am I doing the right thing? Should I have said this here? Should I have done this here? And it's not necessary. It's not needed. People might not even be paying that close attention. But it's also like, what did your gut say? Like, what did your intuition tell you when you woke up, or when you decided to do this series, or when you decided to do season 2? Because honestly, the topics that I'm talking about this season kind of came to me after meditating. Like, I was meditating and I got a download, and God gave me these topics because this is what I've been going through. These are my realizations, and it's just not a reason to overthink. I think that we overthink a lot. I feel like most of our days are caught up with overthinking and worrying about things that we don't need to worry about. Because number one, a lot of things that we worry about, half the time it's not even actually going to happen in real life. I found that out. But the other thing is that you already know what to do. You just have to trust that you are the person to do it. Like, you are the person to share your gifts. You are the person to make that person smile today. Or you are the person to just shine some light somewhere. You're the person to close the deal. You're the person to get the promotion. You are the person to get that raise. You are the person to follow your dreams. You are the person to fulfill your purpose. And we doubt, and we doubt, and we doubt, and we doubt. And yeah, we could say, yeah, I'm just a negative person. You could chalk it up to that. You could chalk it up to whatever your parents told you when you were little. You could chalk it up to your friends or your siblings or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're not trusting yourself, that don't got nothing to do with nobody else but you. It really does not have anything to do with anybody else. They not gonna know. They are not gonna know that you're not trusting yourself until you say something. Because also, it's probably not really gonna be affecting them. Like, it's not going to like affect their lives. It might eat you alive, but like, it's not. All right, you ain't trust your gut, but they probably trusting theirs. And a lot of times when we're like, oh dang, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I should go for this position. I don't know if I should put in this application. I don't know if I should read this book. I don't know if I should do this course. I don't know if it be stuff like that. And it's like, well, why not? Why not? Why not you? If you don't do it, then who gonna do it? Okay. And if that other person do it, are you gonna be mad? You gonna be mad and sitting over here like, oh, well, it would have been me if what? If you would have trusted your gut. And you didn't. And I know I'm going on this tangent, but I'm also talking to myself right now. Because at the end of the day, you got to listen to you. You got to trust who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you need to figure out who you are. You need to learn who you are. Find yourself. And this is why we're doing this. This is why we're talking about self-care. This is why the self-love journey is so important to me. And I'm on it. I'm on the self-love journey. It's not always easy, but having realizations like this, realizing like, oh, when I didn't trust my gut, this was difficult. But the moment that I decided, all right, I'm going to do this time, but I'm going to trust my gut, it got so much easier. Things made so much more sense. As I've been trusting myself, things have been making so much more sense. Things have been connecting. Things that I'm like, I didn't even know this went together. And some of it is just things that I'm interested in, but they're coming together in useful ways that I'm learning so much. I'm going to be able to do so much, and they're coming together. And I'm excited to share these things with you guys in the coming months, weeks, days, whenever they're ready. But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't have got here if I was still not trusting my gut. Even now, when there's like a simple decision to make, if I'm like, okay, I don't know, somebody else can make the decision. I did that earlier. And it was about what topic we was going to talk about for my other podcast, the Gray Area podcast. And at first I had a thought, but then I was like, I don't know. I was like, you guys could actually decide on the topic. Then I had to actually question myself and be like, why? Why not just say what you want to say? why not make your opinion known about what topic you want to talk about? Like, this isn't that big of a deal. You're not wrong. No answer is wrong to this question. It's literally an opinion-based question. So after I had that moment, I was like, well, I don't want to talk about these things, but I'm not sure about the other two. I'm fine with either one, which is fine. Like, I said my piece. No, I didn't pick the exact topic that we were going to talk about, but I also made the decision like, okay, here are my thoughts on what we're going to talk about today, that we don't talk about these two. These two topics, they're not necessary to talk about right now. And then we picked a topic that everybody agreed on. So it's just like the little things. I could have just dismissed my thought and been like, you know what, y'all just pick, I don't know, and just moved on. And then we could have wound up talking about the one of two topics that I did not want to talk about. But I trusted my gut. And even when at first I was like, nah, y'all pick, I had to check myself and be like, well, why not voice your opinion? Why not help in the decision making? Just trusting yourself has been like a huge part of the portion of the journey that I'm on. The vulnerability, the self-love, the self-care, all of those things are all encompassing to, I have to trust myself. I have to trust that I know myself. I have to trust that I can make the right decisions. I have to trust my body. I have to trust my mind. I have to trust my soul and all these things. And of course, that's not to say that you are supposed to trust yourself and not trust anybody else ever, because that's not what I said. Okay, that's not what I said. A lot of times when you start to trust yourself and your own decision-making skills, wow, that was difficult to come out. I don't know what's going on. When you start to trust yourself and your own decision-making skills, you start to become more trusting of the environment around you. But that's also because you'll become more aware of your environment and the people that are around you, and you'll be able to see, oh, this person, they got my best interest at heart, or they know what they're talking about, or I can trust this person, or different things like that. But you won't know that until you really start trusting yourself. Because the other thing with that is like, okay, I can trust this other person, but I know that I can trust myself. I can have the conversation with them in confidence that we will come to an agreeable decision. A decision that works well for both of us, like different things like that. But you don't know that until you literally start to trust your own gut. You start to trust yourself. And I don't know, this might sound cliche to y'all, but that's a key to life. Trusting yourself. Because who else you gonna trust? Who else you gonna lean on? How you gonna expect to trust everybody else and you don't even trust yourself? And then you need to ask yourself, why don't you trust yourself? What did you do that made you lose your trust? Maybe I need to ask myself that question, because I'm still working on this. Dear Black woman, I appreciate you. We are on this journey together, but I want you to know that you can be trusted. You can trust yourself. You can trust your gut. You make amazing decisions. I mean, you made it this far. You made it this far, and look at you, you thriving. So trust yourself to make a good decision today, and then again tomorrow, and the next day. But it all starts with you trusting yourself, appreciating yourself, and loving yourself. So I commend you on you making the decision to start your day today, to get out of bed, to wash your face, to get clean, to go to work, to go outside, to be amongst the people. I appreciate and I applaud you for deciding to be the beautiful queen that you are. And I'm excited for you to do it again tomorrow. Love, the creative Black woman. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Love, the Creative Black Woman. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys very soon. If you like this episode, you'll definitely like the one that's linked below, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye.